Hey all, Johnny Mullet here with another update on the bus build. I got the bus back in the shop, as you can see, because it's pretty cold and crappy outside. I talked to the boss, see if I could bring the bus in one more time to get a few things done that I need to take care of. And one of the situations I have is kind of serious because my parking brake quit working. When I had the parking brake on, I noticed I could easily overpower it, and I knew it might have needed adjusted or there was something wrong with it. So as time went on and the more I drove the bus, the worse it got. And it got to the point where I parked the bus at a fuel station. There was a slight incline, and when I set the brake and I got up out of the seat, I noticed the bus started rolling. So that's why the bus is in the shop right now, because you have to have a parking brake to work, especially if your transmission does not have a park function like my transmission. So first off, let me show you what we got going on. Sorry about the shaky video, you know, my shit's raw, so deal with it. First things first, the wheels are chalked. You do not want to work underneath your bus with the parking brake release without some way of stopping it from rolling, because once this bus starts rolling, you're not stopping it. So let me take you on, underneath the bus and show you how the parking brake system works on a hydraulic brake system on a school bus. Okay, here we are underneath the bus, and this is the parking brake drum right behind the transmission. And inside that drum, if I can roll around and show you guys, there are, just like an old car on the rear brakes, there's parking brake shoes inside here, and this lever right here, when you pull the cable, pushes this rod that way to spread the parking brake shoes to lock the drum, and this keeps the bus from rolling. The problem I had with mine is the adjustment. The actual lining's in good shape. My brakes just needed adjusted, fortunately. So basically I had to go up in here, and this is the cable attachment. A cotter pin went in this hole right here. So after I removed the cotter pin, I pulled this clevis pin out like this. It's just a clevis pin right there. Set that on the ground somewhere where I'm not going to lose it. And I had to come in here. It's kind of hard to see where we're at, but there is a lock nut right here. I had to loosen this lock nut and then spin this entire clevis a good bit. You can see the shiny part of the metal there. I had to turn this thing probably a good 5 or 6 rotations to get it tight enough to actually hold the parking brake. So now when I pull the parking brake lever, there's no more slack, and it's holding really, really good. So I'm happy I got that taken care of. I'm glad I didn't need a bunch of parts and, cost a whole lot of money, especially when I got this trip coming up. So we're going to go ahead and try and get this clevis back in here if I can. There we go. There's the clevis pin back in, and I think I got a new cotter key to put in the hole. Let's see if I can find that. There we go. Here's the new cotter pin, and if it's too big, well, that's perfect. Look at that. There's the new cotter pin. This keeps the clevis pin from coming out. Pretty simple. And fortunately, this bus isn't a huge rust bucket, and everything came apart. So I was able to get that taken care of rather quickly, because I was worried nothing was going to turn and I was going to have all kinds of major problems. So after you put the cotter pin in, you need to spread it so it don't fall out. So just take a pair of side cutters. We'll spread that cotter just like that. So that'll keep that from coming out, and everything is now working the way it's supposed to. So now I have a parking brake. Another reason I brought the bus in was for some marker light issues I had. And I tried saving them, but apparently it's not going to work. So let me take you outside the bus and show you. You can see back here what I'm working with. Let me take you up the ladder real quick. Sorry about the footage. I'm not a professional here. Just documenting my build. this is the original light right here in the middle. And I've been having so many problems with these lights. And the biggest problem is trying to change a bulb. You know, you put the screwdriver in the hole and the screw's stripped out and it won't come out. So I couldn't even change the bulbs anymore. So what I did is I replaced these two so far with LEDs. So this one here is the last one left, and I think I'll show you how I did it, because the original lights are a little bit different. Another thing is these school bus lights, they're hard to find. You can't just go to any truck stop or whatever and find them, so it's a good idea to replace them. Okay, we're back. This is the factory light that was in the bus. And as you see, it only has one wire. So what this is we have one power wire, and the ground is actually from where it mounts with these screw holes. So your positive goes in to the light socket, and the negative is actually grounded right here where the screw holes are. And then after you put that on, the lens goes on and screws in. This one here I was actually able to unscrew. The replacement light, on the other hand, this is an LED, and it comes with a cover like you seen when the lights were on the back of the bus. This has two wires, so it has a separate ground wire. And also, if you see, the holes on this light do not line up with the holes on that light for mounting. So I have to drill new holes to make it work. So first thing I got to do is make my ground. So the easiest way to ground it is you have a white wire here for negative. And it's a really, really simple thing to do, is you go ahead and you find a nice small eye connector like this. I don't know if you can see that. It's not going to focus. I don't have a really good camera, but that's an eye connector. So I'm going to take my wiring pliers. Again, sorry about the shitty video, but it is what it is. So now that I have my crimper tool set up with the little eye connector in there, I take the negative wire, stick it inside, but not too far, because you want to squeeze where the contact is. So now I squeeze it, and I have a crimped connection with an eye connector. So now when I mount this light, this black wire will go to the positive that I cut from the original light. And this one here is going to be my negative. In order to make my ground, I'm going to position it like so. And then when I run my screw through this side and mount it, this will ground it right to the chassis. So it's an easy way to do it, and it works for me. All I got to do now here is I'm going to go ahead and get a fresh crimp, since this one here is all messed up. And we're going to strip the wire right there. And this is a butt connector right here. Basically butts two wires together. And then we're going to go ahead and crimp that onto this end. And then the other end of the wire from the bus will go in this end. And after you crimp it, this is a shrink tube, and you heat this up with a cigarette lighter, and it melts and shrinks around your connection for a nice, watertight seal. So I don't know how good this video is going to be, because you're kind of far away, but I'm going to show you how I replace the light, basically. You're not going to get any details because of how far away the video is, but hey, it is what it is. Let's get her done. Hopefully y'all can hear me, but like I said, the old lights, I tried putting a screwdriver in there and not coming off. So instead of pissing around, I just break it off. Done, right? 2 mounting screws. I showed you the mounting screws on the light on the table, and they do not line up with the new lights. So right there is the old light removed. Get rid of the rubber seal, and I forgot my wiring pliers. I'm just going to let it roll. Just let it roll. All right, I'm back. So here's the new light that I showed you that I not pre-wired, but you know, pre-set up so I can get this job done. So I'm going to cut the wire. I'm going to hold this end so it don't fall in the hole, because that would suck. And now I'm going to strip it. Just like that. And then we're going to splice the 2 wires together with the butt connector, like I showed you. So now we have a good connection. This is the shrink tubing. You simply take a mini torch or even a cigarette lighter. Rubbing 2 sticks together ain't going to get it done. And as you add the fire to it, the tubing shrinks down and it makes a nice watertight seal. So the next thing to do is I have to pre-drill my holes for where I'm going to mount the light. I always say you're not going for perfection, but you want to at least make it look decent, you know? You want to get them sort of straight. So I'm guessing right about there. I got my drill. I'm going to start by marking that one, and then marking the other one. Make sure it stayed straight, it's not crooked, don't look stupid. Right there. My hose is screwing me right now. Okay, the 2 holes are now marked. I don't want to drill all the way through with the light up there because I'll go ahead and bust it, and that would suck too. There we go. One more to go. We'll hold her up out of the way. And you guys remember what I said in my earlier videos, don't use cheap drill bits, because I'd still be drilling. So what I did there is I put that eyelet that I crimped on the white wire through the screw on the back of the light so I can get it started, and that'll supply my ground right through the chassis of the bus. And somebody wants to message me. Tough shit, I'm busy. Always interrupted. Always. You know what's sad? It's like we got this modern age of, social media and Facebook and connect with old friends, and people don't contact me to say, "Hey, how you been, John? I haven't heard from you in a while. You want to go do something or have a good time?" No. Technical questions. "Hey, can you help me with my car? Can you help me with it?" No. I ain't got time for that shit anymore. All right. And finally, we will put on the lens. And there we go. Real quick, I'll go turn them on. And make sure they work. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. These are very bright. They're LED. Visibility from behind should not be a problem now. I'm not changing all the other lights. These three I was having problems with. The ones on the side are still working. I'll wait. I'll fix them later. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on this next episode. I'm glad I got this stuff going, and I'm glad everything went relatively easy. As a matter of fact, the parking brake job I was worried about the most, but that was the easy job. The lights turned out to be a little bit harder. On the front of the bus, that light right there has been replaced by the previous owner. The three on the front, like the three on the back, are the same old school bus lights, but they're working. I have no problems with them. Down the road, I'll probably upgrade those lights also, and we'll take care of the marker light situation once and for all. I was explaining to you earlier, I had those lights in the back working, but the screws were really tight and really hard to get out of there, and then I had another marker light go out just a couple days ago because those old lights don't seal very well. They don't really have like a rubber seal that is efficient enough to keep the water out. So when you're driving down the road, it's raining, you get water getting down and behind the light, and then before you know it, the light bulb blows and you got to do it all over again. So I went with the LED lights. They're brighter, they're nicer. The only complaint I have with LED is in the wintertime, they don't melt snow. Actually, an LED light doesn't generate any heat at all, like an incandescent bulb does. So LED lights will not melt snow. If the back of my bus is covered in snow from going down a snow-covered road, all my normal lights you'll be able to see. Those new ones I put on top, if they get covered, you won't be able to see them. Maybe you'll see the glow through, the snow, but they don't melt snow because they don't generate any heat. A couple little issues I got left. I have had no mechanical breakdowns with my bus since I got it. The only issue I've had was the parking brake, and I think it was just, I remember when I first got the bus, the parking brake, you pull the lever, you feel a little bit of resistance, but now that it's fixed, I feel good resistance. It's holding well. It was just a wear item, just like the front brakes I did, and that was a couple videos ago. Just general maintenance and repairs. Nothing out of line, no major breakdowns, no transmission or engine problems, so I'm very happy with that. We're getting ready to go to Skoolie, and I'm going to start a new series, and it's probably going to be called Mullet's Cross Country Skoolie Trip, because we're going to be leaving here from Northeast Ohio all the way to Quartzsite, Arizona, taking that bus, and we're going to go to Skoolie. We're leaving January 13th. And we're taking 2 weeks to do it. I want to spend a couple days at Skoolie. We're going to visit friends in California. I want to see the ocean, see the Pacific. I haven't seen the West Coast, so this is going to be an awesome experience for me. I have faith that this bus is going to make it there and back with no problems. So I don't want to bore you all with any more crap. I'm going to get back to work and do some more odd and end things while I have the opportunity in here in the nice warm garage. And I will see you all for the next episode of Mullet Skoolie Build, or maybe we'll see you on the cross-country Skoolie trip series. So you all take care. We'll see you next time.